This state has serious issues with how child abuse is reported. There's confusion among the people required to report abuse on when to call, who to call, and families of color being reported on more often in cases where that's not warranted. Our Anusha Roy looks at a potential overhaul of the system.
During the mandatory reporting task force meeting, the same concern kept coming up.
Recognizing that those who are reported on tend to be Black and brown and have under-resourced communities.
The problem is so big, the Child Protection Ombudsman said it's being discussed in every state in the country.
This is the issue of our time. When it comes to the world of child protection, children of color, particularly children who are Black, as well as of Native ancestry, are removed at almost 3 times the amount.
3 times the amount of their white counterparts.
Forcing the system to analyze, why is this racial disproportionality happening, right? It's not because these families abuse their children more often.
But the ombudsman said minority families are being reported on more often than getting involved in the child welfare system at higher rates when it's not always necessary.
They are being investigated or assessed more than their white counterparts. Then you move further into the system and you will see a higher removal of those children, a higher number in foster care.
Right now, mandatory reporters include doctors, nurses, teachers, even nutritionists, and have a responsibility to report abuse and neglect. Those tasked with fixing the system said it's the definition of neglect that's a big issue.
Poverty too often viewed as neglect, so conflating poverty with neglect.
And so a family who may not be able to provide housing, for example, or food for their children aren't necessarily abusive families, right? But they do need services. And unfortunately, the way the law is worked right now, you're getting all those families in the mix. Those that are accused of physical abuse, but those who also may just be in need of services to support their children.
It highlights the nuanced task at hand, making sure the system is protecting children both from abuse and bias.
Act of removing a child from their parent has extraordinarily traumatic impact on them.
So the task force was created in part because of high-profile cases where children died. They're now going to be meeting over the next 2 years and then present their findings to the General Assembly, the governor, Colorado Department of Human Services, all to talk about how to change these laws. Part of that is going to be looking at what are better ways to get families connected to help. The thing is, these laws have been around since 1963. Colorado was one of the first in the country to create them, but over the years, Kyle, it wasn't looked at closely enough to make sure that it was still working in the way that it was intended to.
The stakes are so high for the mandated reporters because they never want to accuse somebody who's not doing something wrong. But if they don't make a report, kid could get hurt, they could get criminally charged.
Yeah, it is a really complicated and heavy situation. And the state said they kept getting calls from those mandatory reporters saying, we're confused. We don't know who to call. You said call right away. Is that 24 hours from now, 3 days from now, next week? They're asking for help, saying help us define the legal definitions of different types of abuse and help us with that training because they want to do right in these situations. That's the second half of what that task force is focusing on, is clarifying all of that.
Yeah, you got to think all these people have the heart in the right place.
Right.
They just want direction. Anusha, thank you.